What's up, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you all for watching. If you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So what we're going to do today is answer a lot of you guys' questions that you put in the comment section below, or you just message us or simply send us a text message. So the first question is, when you are tired from working and now you have kids and your wife says you're not affectionate as much when you first met. So I would say just make sure you plan a nice date night for her. Think about the times when y'all first met. Do something really special for her. Get back to the beginning of everything. I know sometimes you can kind of put dating and stuff on the back burner because now you have kids, but you got to put that at the top of your priority list. She needs to know that you're still having that affectionate time with her and loving on her, holding her hand, kissing her, whispering sweet things in her ear. Even if you're just at home and you're watching TV or watching sports, join him while he's watching sports. Get in the kitchen and cook with her. Anytime you can sneak in some quality time while the kids are sleeping or outside playing or whatever, just make sure you think about your marriage and think about the things that she's asking and try to fulfill those needs.
It doesn't matter if it's 5, 10, 20, or even an hour that you're able to spend with each other. It's just about the time y'all have with each other. It's not about always doing something major like taking a trip, going out to eat, or doing a staycation or something like that. It's just really about the time that y'all are able to share with each other. And money doesn't always have to be associated with that time. It's just y'all taking advantage of that time y'all have.
Right. What question you have, babe?
When you're not in the mood, how do you find that common ground to make sure your partner isn't feeling neglected? What is the compromise? First and foremost, when it comes to the neglected question, the main thing is to always be open with your partner. What do I mean by that is that a lot of times we consider sex as intimacy, but intimacy starts way before sex. Yeah, sex is a part of it, but it actually starts way before that. Being open is sharing with your partner what's going on. A lot of times when we say we're not in the mood, it don't necessarily mean just always like, oh, I'm just not feeling it. A lot of times it has to do with issues at work, family issues. You can be tired. You can be taking care of the kids. It can be something going on that if you're open with your spouse and you communicate that over to them, explaining to them what's going on, a lot of us will be understanding to that. And then it allows us to fulfill a position as your husband to actually console you and hold you and be vulnerable with you and cater to your emotional side. That's the key component of it.
Well, what I would say is, as far as the compromise, make sure that y'all write down a list of your priorities. And if y'all look at your list and y'all both have something on your list that's not a priority to neither one of y'all, then y'all need to move that at the bottom, and you need to make sure you put having that intimate time at the top.
For sure.
Sex, basically. You need to put that at the top of your
Say
list.
what?
Sex. You need to put that at the top of your list because men are very emotional when it comes to sex and they do not like feeling rejected at all. So you just need to, like my husband was saying, you need to make sure that you communicate that over to your husband and just talk to him and let him know how you were feeling that day and things you probably were going through, and just tell him, right now I'm just, not really feeling it right now. Can you just give me some time so I can, just get my mind right, get my mind together, and just leave him with good hopes that, please believe, when I get myself together, when I get my mind right, it is going down for sure, so he don't feel so rejected and he can have an understanding like, okay, and, just make sure you don't take advantage of the no.
And guys, we gotta be able to accept that and give our wife that space.
Yeah.
It may be a little rest time for her. It may be time for her to regroup, but allow her that space. And in the meantime, continue to be intimate. If that's sowing seed into her, if that's cultivating her, if that's supporting her dreams and her ambitions, all that just triggers her to be wanting to be more deeper intimate with you. So
Right.
it's about catering to her emotional side and her as a woman, and you being that strong leader continually, because that just arises that entrance to want to be even more intimate. And as my wife's saying, we can't use that as a weapon, ladies. So don't say, well, you didn't do this and this, so I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not giving you any sex tonight because you didn't do this, or you acting this way, so I'm not giving you. You can't use it as a weapon, because that's a recipe for destruction if you do.
Okay.
What you have, baby?
We'll go deeper with that.
We'll talk about that in another topic.
Yeah.
But we'll
Okay.
ask the next question.
Okay, so the next question is, what does it take to have a healthy marriage? First of all, you need to have prayer.
For sure.
You know, you all need to pray together. You need to make sure you're communicating. Trust. You know.
I definitely agree with that. You have to have trust. And I think a lot of times too, attached to trust is not letting your past experience dictate your current relationship or your current marriage. You know, a lot of times we develop lack of trust issues because of a previous experience that we have had, and we make the person that we're with pay for the last person what they did, and we can't do that. We got to allow ourselves to trust in relationships and in our marriage, because that's one of the core things of marriage.
Also, supporting each other's dreams. You know, if you know that
Sure.
that he has a vision, or you know that she has a vision of hers, then you need to make sure that you're supportive of that and sow seeds into each other's vision.
I agree with that, because just because we become married, we become a lot of things in marriage. Meaning, as a wife, Sierra becomes a wife, a mother. She holds so many different hats in the house, as well as we do as men.
Right.
You know, but the thing is that your dreams is still important. It's
Right.
something that we do in our household, where regardless of the kids and regardless of our responsibilities that we do have, we keep that first and foremost, and it's greatly important to us. But regardless of all that, we still push each other dreams to come to pass. We still know that God has something intended for us beyond just being a father or a husband, or you know, or a son. You know, those things are important, but God has so much more in store for us, and it's important for us to cultivate those things and bring them to pass, because that's when we feel fulfilled, and that's the importance to a relationship as well.
Right, right.
And God has to be your final authority. As my wife was saying, prayer, that's one component of it. You have to pray together, but also we have to know that God is the final authority. If our relationship,
Right.
as we say, is a resemblance of our relationship with God, God has to be the final authority, the end all be all. He
Yeah.
has to be what we rely on,
The
and
foundation.
exactly the
Yeah.
foundation of our marriage.
Right, right. So what's your next question?
Open marriage and threesomes. So that came up. We're going to talk about that as a topic, but we will touch bases a little bit on it now. Open marriage, we have to understand that regardless if it's a desire that...
What you have to understand is it is just for you and your husband alone, okay? Nobody
Yeah, she's
else
right.
should be in the bedroom with you all. Point blank, period. Go
And
on,
she's
babe.
totally
Sorry.
she's totally right. She's totally right. What we do is that it may be a desire that somebody may have in a relationship, and it may be that other spouse's desire as well, or it may be that spouse's desire to accommodate the desire of their spouse. Regardless of the circumstances, you shouldn't do it. What you do with that is you open the door for cheating. You open the door for sexual immorality. You open the door for infidelity. And even though that you know what's going on,
It's still cheating.
It's still cheating.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you know about the cheating and you may be okay with it, but then a few months later you get this happen a lot where that spouse feels comfortable with going outside of his marriage or her marriage, and she does that or he does that, and then you find out about it, and now you want to hold them up to a bar of you cheated on me, and it becomes real serious when you allow that to be spiritually attached to your marriage.
Yeah.
We allow our wife to be connected to somebody else, or we allow our husband to be connected to somebody else when that occurs. Well, we don't really value our spouse as much if we allow that.
Right.
You know, if we can give our wife or our husband over to someone else and we're okay with that, regardless of what we're thinking we're doing to better our marriage, we're really hurting it.
Right.
You know, we don't care anything about someone if we decide to share something as special as what God has given us to share with someone else. You made a vow on the altar to that individual,
Right.
and you should keep that vow. It wasn't about anyone else, a third person being attached to that. And as we go deeper to a spiritual note of it, in the Bible it talks about the holiest of holy. And what used to happen is the person that's appointed by God, which would be the priest, can go behind the veil, and they would tie a rope around that person just in case that if they died, they would pull them out.
Right.
Well, long story short is that veil that God has given you, only one person is appointed to go behind that veil, and that's the one that's appointed by God.
Right.
No one else. Anything else causes death to the relationship. So just so we can understand the spiritual side of it, that sacred and secret place that God has appointed is only for that individual that God has allowed. So when we allow anything else beyond that point, we hurt our marriage.
So, thank you all for watching. If there's any topics you would like us to discuss, please list them in the comment section below. We love y'all, and y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.